Strap yourselves in for the ultimate FM24 Save Ideas video for clubs in Germany, and one of these sides could just be the setting for the best game of Football Manager you've ever had. FM24 offers us 3 tiers to select from in Germany, from the 18-team Bundesliga, where 2 clubs are automatically relegated, down to the 18 teams Bundesliga, and below that is the Dry Liga, which consists of 20 sides who all compete in one national division. So let's take a look at the clubs that might make exciting FM24 challenges, starting in the top division. If you take the reins at champions Bayern, you'd be tasked with securing their 12th successive Bundesliga title. At the Klassiker rivals Dortmund, you'd be looking to erase the memories of last season's final day heartbreak, where they were leapfrogged by Thomas Tuchel's men to deny them a first league title since 2012. You could take the helm at emerging force RB Leipzig, who are looking to become the first East German side to win the Bundesliga since reunification. Or you could pursue the same goal with Union Berlin, who qualified for the Champions League last season but are struggling this. But away from last season's top 4, there are plenty of other clubs that could give you an epic FM24 adventure, starting at the inaugural winners of the Bundesliga in 1964, and that is Köln. They were national champions once again in 1978, the year they managed to do the league and cup double, but since that achievement they've only won one further trophy, going on to be somewhat of the bridesmaid, being runners-up in the Bundesliga 3 times and losing 2 further Pokal finals, as well as losing the 1986 UEFA Cup final to Real Madrid. An 11th place finish last season has left the 50,000 fans at the Rhein-Energiestadion thirsty for further improvements. Not far from Köln are another North Rhine-Westphalia club in the shape of Bayer Leverkusen, who themselves are no stranger to the bridesmaid tag. Leverkusen won the Pokal in 1993, but have lost 3 subsequent finals, were UEFA Cup runners-up in 1988, lost the 2002 Champions League final to one of the most famous goals in the competition's history, and they have never won the Bundesliga despite being 5 times runners-up. Securing a first Bundesliga title for a club founded by workers at a local pharmaceuticals company could be a challenging FM24 adventure. But if you're searching for a top-flight rebuild in FM24, Borussia Mönchengladbach could be a tempting proposition. During the 1970s, the club were dominant, winning 5 league titles, a Pokal, 2 UEFA Cups, and they were runners-up in 3 further European finals, including the 1977 European Cup final, where they succumbed to Liverpool. The Foals finished 10th last time out, but memories of those glory days are starting to fade, and this could be another North Rhine-Westphalia club where you could have an epic FM24 adventure. Other former Bundesliga champions who provide interesting challenges include Northern outfit Werder Bremen, winners of 4 league titles, as well as the 1992 European Cup Winners' Cup, Eintracht Frankfurt, who lifted the Europa League 2 seasons ago, Stuttgart were last Bundesliga winners in 2007, but last season required a playoff victory over Hamburg to secure their top-flight status, or maybe you prefer to take the reins at Wolfsburg, who were surprise victors in 2009. Or perhaps a sterner test awaits you at one of the 2 newly promoted clubs, and after the event on the final day of the Zwei Bundesliga season last campaign, Heidenheim could be an interesting choice. The little club from the south of the country went into the final weekend of the season with promotion in their own hands, but went 2-0 down to Jan Regensburg, whilst promotion rivals Hamburg led against Sandhausen. Hamburg fans celebrated promotion at the final whistle without realising that Heidenheim had tied their match at 2-2 in the 93rd minute and was still playing. In a script more common in Football Manager, Heidenheim scored a 99th minute winner to finish the season as champions and confine Hamburg to a playoff that they would eventually lose. Ensuring Bundesliga survival with Heidenheim in their first season at this level, well, that would be an epic achievement all by itself, but then going on to secure trophies, that would be a wonderful long-term adventure. In Zwei Bundesliga, there are a host of giant clubs all in need of rescuing. The aforementioned Hamburg are starting their 6th consecutive season at this level after being relegated from the Bundesliga the first time in their history in 2018. Hertha and Schalke were both relegated last season and drop into the 2nd tier with 9 national titles between them. And Kaiserslautern are set to begin their 2nd season back at this level after the 4-time national champions spent time in Dry Liga. But another mouth-watering save awaits you at Nuremberg. The Bavarians, known as Der Club, have only competed in one season in the Bundesliga since relegation in 2014. But further back in their history, Nuremberg are one of the greatest clubs in Germany. They secured their first national title in 1920, going on to claim 7 more before the formation of the Bundesliga, which Nuremberg won in 1968. They've also claimed 4 Pokal titles, most recently in 2007, the last time they won a major honour. But last season's 14th place finish indicates that guiding this club back to the summit of German football would be a long-term adventure for your next FM24 save. And if you're planning an FM24 save in Germany, head down to the comments section below and let us know which club you've selected and why. And if you'd like to see more league guides to the various countries you can play in FM24, let us know which ones you'd like to see down in the comments. And whilst you're down there, why not give this video a little like? The YouTube algorithm really does appreciate it. Into Dry Liga next, where there are no shortage of clubs in need of a rebuild, and there is one who's experienced a particularly difficult last couple of seasons. Poor old Bielefeld have suffered successive relegations that have seen the club slip from Bundesliga to the 3rd tier in just 2 seasons. Despite not winning a major honour, they have 17 seasons of Bundesliga football since its formation, but having finished 17th in the top flight 2 seasons ago, last season they placed 16th, which confined them to a playoff with Wien Wiesbaden from the division below. Bielefeld lost both legs of the playoff, confining them to relegation. But it's precisely this scenario that makes them the ideal candidate for your 3rd tier FM24 German rebuild. Arguably the biggest club competing at this level are 1860 München, the 1966 winners of the Bundesliga. This is a club that made the Cup Winners' Cup final in 1965, eventually losing to West Ham United, and were competing with local rivals Bayern in the top flight as recently as 2004, before financial irregularity saw them demoted to the regional leagues in 2018. But they've battled their way back, and this season marks their 6th consecutive campaign at this level, but their rivals Bayern have gone on to claim title after title, even including further European honours amongst their trophy haul, so turning 1860 back into the most successful side in the city, never mind the country, well, that would be a task that would test your managerial acumen to the limits. Or maybe you prefer a club based in Bavaria, and this time a genuine yo-yo outfit. FC Ingolstadt were only formed in 2004, but have crammed a lot into their short history. Beginning life in Bavaria's regional divisions, they climbed to the 3rd tier by 2006 and made the Zwei Bundesliga by 2008. They were relegated a year later, but by 2015 they were making their top flight debut. A creditable 11th place finish was secured that season, but they were relegated a year later, and since then they've bounced between the 2nd and 3rd tiers. But could you take over at the Audi Sports Park and take this club up the gears once more before trying to compete for major honours in your FM24 adventure?